What's up, everyone? Today we're going to have to take a break from working on the other projects. A family member has a bit of an issue with this truck. And we're going to go from this. Oh yeah, that sounds fantastic. To this right here. So we had a bit of a lifter issue. Fortunately, it was just a collapsed lifter and it wasn't a totally wiped out cam. That's one of the cool things. As long as these roller cams don't turn sideways, we actually don't eat these cams up. I really love these LS engines, I gotta say. But we had a really cool plan and set that I was hoping, I'm gonna turn this off. Sorry about that. We had a really cool plan in place. My goal was to convert this from a, I don't want to say performance oriented, but definitely something with a little bit extra kick than you would normally get with your, your dad's old pickup truck. I like to have a little extra kick, but with this, wonderful day and age that we have, gas is getting a little bit of, pricey. We all feel it in our wallet. So the goal was to take this engine, which is a 5.3 all aluminum engine, with a set of 799 heads, which if you guys are LS guys, those are pretty nice heads. Those are the high compression. You get something similar to that on some of the performance model cars. So high compression, needs 91 octane, which it's almost $4 here for 91 octane. And it gets like 18 miles to the gallon highway. So it's not the most fuel conscious vehicle. So the plan was I had a cam ground, well, I ordered a cam from CompCam that was meant to just tow. It was a conservative cam. It wasn't meant for high horsepower. It was just meant to be set up for towing. And with these 799 heads, it would have been a pretty decent combo, but I was thinking about the 317 heads that I had ported, polished. They don't need much, so it's just a little tweaks inside the actual ports, but I polished the entire combustion chamber. So you don't get carbon buildup, and also you get a more even burn. It was meant to go inside the Buick before I got those 823 heads, which are rec port, so we can run those, the cross ram from Edelbrock. And so I took them off my shelf, and conscious of trying to keep things clean, I brought him down to the machine shop. Now, I normally use Dan Bandel. He is fantastic. Doesn't pay me to say anything. He probably doesn't know I exist. Other than every so often I bring some what I consider great engines. He would consider junk. He builds a lot of engines for Lebanon Valley, whether you're running the drag strip or the dirt tracks and stuff. Phenomenal guy, very talented, and he has a really good staff there. Unfortunately, this time of year, very hard to get a hold of, because he's building race engines. So I brought my heads down to Plan B. And Plan B became, I don't know. I have to call him up this coming up Monday. I'm not going to say the name. I don't want to do that, because I'm sure he'll probably work with me on figuring out what's going to happen next. But those beautiful heads that I spent countless hours getting set up, he must have run them. I don't know how well you can see that. This is supposed to be a nice polished surface. It literally feels like 1,000 or 600 grit sandpaper. Unfortunately, what must have happened was it was cleaned in the same tank as they would clean cast iron components. And that's a very acidic chemical. And unfortunately, those heads are, I don't want to say they're virtually junk, but they're virtually junk now. So unfortunately, we are going to go ahead and go the opposite route and just pretty much leave it as it is, go through, pull the heads off, clean them the best we can here, because it's not really that bad of an engine. It's pretty clean. My uncle did a very good job maintaining it. And then once we're done doing all of the cleaning and putting things back together, we'll go ahead and we'll do the break-in process, which past tense, I guess, because it's already been done. But sometimes, especially with these LS engines, you get really, really lucky. And it's just a collapsed lifter, and it didn't wipe out the cam. So which is great because I didn't know how well the cam that I had ordered for this would have worked for it. I wasn't prepared for that. I wasn't prepared that the machine shop would ruin a set of heads I put 40 plus hours into. But I don't know. It's unfortunate, but hey, at the end of the day, we had a great time. I was reminded how I don't really like working in trucks the way I was working on this. I like working on engines outside of a car. It makes life a lot easier. Anyways, here is a time lapse. It's a bit lengthy, but it's everything I needed to do in the span of 2 days. I did the whole thing, pulled the whole top end off, put all new gaskets in it, everything. I pulled it to the side, hosed them down with a lot of parts cleaner, and gave her a bit of a scrub as well. And yeah. Also, not sponsored, but if you guys were asking yourself what oil filter I use, I like Wix. Not that you were asking that, but if you were. All right, let's go to the time lapse, guys. I always tell myself I'm not going to do that, but honestly, I don't know if it's a dad thing or we're just double checking to make sure that the battery's good in the old drill here, but just a quick little, you know. Anyways, first thing we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to remove the terminal and drain the coolant. One more quick thing. Remove this shroud, because if you end up putting a lot of weight on these, they break. Ask me how I know. So I absolutely kid you not. I just found a piece of blonde, or maybe it's red hair that I kid you not is that long. Inside the engine. This engine definitely hasn't been taken apart before. So to the Chevy assembler that put this engine together, you should probably keep your hair out of the engine. I have never seen this before. I thought it was like wow, that's some pretty sticky lubricant inside here, and then I'm like, no, that's hair. Someone lost an entire piece. It's definitely maybe it's red. I don't know, but blonde or something. Definitely red. So there's a red head at the Chevy assembly plant from 2011 that lost a piece of hair inside here. Never seen anything like that. All right, let's keep disassembling this. Well, guys, it was a whole weekend. It was probably the quickest I've ever gone through and replaced the lifters in a truck. And even with the lifters being underneath the heads and having to remove them, it was a heck of a journey. So the moment of truth is, hopefully it went away. Hopefully that was the issue. And the other thing is you guys saw, I put some distilled water inside the actual coolant system. So the reason why I did that is because I put a little bit of, let's see if I can find the can. This Motor Medic made by Gunk 10-minute radiator flush. I'm actually going to run it for a day with this stuff in. It's about 10 minutes to work, 10 minutes back. I'll drain the coolant system the following day, and we'll see if this all checks out. But yeah, you didn't see that, but I totally nailed it. I didn't miss the garbage bin at all. Anyways, so we'll go ahead, crank her over, see if she's all right. Other than that, I also like these systems because they will self-bleed themselves or burp themselves, which is fantastic. We're going to go ahead and prime the fuel system just to make sure that we don't get leaks in the fuel line that is right over on that side. That's the one that had to come apart, and I don't have the special tool, so I had to really finagle it. I just want to make sure it's seated properly. All right. I like to run the fuel pump a few times. That way it can get pressure. So what you do is you turn it on, wait 10-15 seconds, you turn her back off. You do that a few times, it should build pressure. Then we check, and yeah, no fuel leaks. Good. Do it one more time so we can get the snap on, and then we have to do the whole let it break back in. So. There you go, guys. Job well done. I'm gonna go inside and have dinner now. One thing I did learn this weekend is climbing on top of a truck like that has reminded me of how old I'm getting. And I'm happy. This makes me glad. I still have to put the shroud on top of the engine. If it was my truck, I'd just leave it off. But engines look great. You don't need to have to hide them. They're beautiful things, guys. All right, so let's go ahead. We'll let this thing do its break-in. We'll come back to it. We'll take her around the block a few times, and then happy days, guys. All right, have yourselves a glorious afternoon. Remember, as always, keep her shiny side up, and God bless.